So we're going to take all these clamps off and we're going to check this out. I'm probably going to do a little bit of sanding to try to get the edges nice and even, and we'll just kind of go from there. The more I look at this thing, the more a pile of crap it looks like. I don't know how well this is going to turn out, but we're going to give it the old college try. Well, not that. I didn't go to college. Not any meaningful one anyway. If I did, I'd be out there protesting about something stupid. Okay, let's get this over to the sander and see what we can do over there, huh? Alright, I'm going to get this here on the belt sander. I'm going to try to get this stuff lined up so it looks nice and even. I don't know if it's going to do it. I think I messed it up pretty bad. And this might end up in the trash. I don't know yet. Let's see if we can salvage it, huh? Don't forget, this is going to be a little bit loud. I'm going to play it for a little bit and then we'll get back to you. I'm going to keep going with this because it's going to be a little while before I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and keep sanding this, and once we get to the end and maybe have a finished product here, if it's worth showing you, then I'll show it to you. If not, you'll probably see me throw it in the trash. I'm still going to put this video out though. Maybe people can comment on what I did wrong on here, which there seems to be a lot. But okay, we're gonna get this done. I am switching to my 1x30 because my 2x42 didn't have the right grit as far as the belts that I have on it. So we're gonna switch to this one and see how this works. Well, it didn't turn out as bad as what I thought. It's gonna fit. I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. It's a little rough right now because I haven't treated it, but once we get the stitching in, I might cut this down a little bit yet, but not too bad. I gotta go ahead and do the stitching on this now, and I'll show you the process for doing that. We're moving on to the stitching process. Now the first thing that you want to do on a stitch in the stitching process, you want to get a groove or a line that goes right along each side, and you want to have it nice and even, parallel more or less, right along the edges, and that's what this tool is for. And it's very simple to use. All you have to do is line it up. This piece goes right over the edge of your leather, and if you can see, there's a little hole in here, and that will draw out some leather. So all we're going to do is very simple. Just like that. And we're going to turn it to the other side. We're going to run it right along the edge. That's the first step. And now sometimes people will use this, I call it a spur wheel, and they will run it down in this fashion to put little marks, but I don't like that. Let me show you what I use. As soon as I find it. I use this thing. I call it a fork. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but basically this will start all of your holes, and they'll be, when you put them in, when you use this, they're all going to be the same distance apart, and it works quite well. I'm using kind of a heavy hammer for this, but and once you put this in, what I always do is the last hole, I don't know if you can see this, but the last hole is where I put the back end. So that way I'm going to use a smaller one for this curve here, so we can stay right on the line. And we're going to just work our way right down that scoring. All the way to the end. And when you get to the end like this, because I have some that's overlapping, I'm not going to put holes in here. I'm not even going to try. So I'm going to match it up. I'm going to use my small one, and instead of going just one over, I'm going to go two back. line that up. And that takes us right to the edge. And we'll do the same thing down the other side. Now, before I go ahead and do the stitching, because I'm going to be dyeing this leather, and after I dye it, that's when I'm going to put the stitching in. It's going to be a lighter colored stitching, which is going to be some of this, and the dye is going to be darker. So I'm going to go ahead and dye this before I actually do the stitching, and then let it wait, and I'll probably do the stitching tomorrow. But I will drill the holes as soon as I'm done right here. I'm also going to drill the holes for the on the back here, and it's going to go something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then when I come back, we'll be over on the drill press. We're going to go ahead and start with the drilling of all the holes so we can get the stitching through. As you can see right here, I made a mistake on this one. With my second hit, I didn't have the punch in the right spot, but all the holes look pretty even all the way through, and we're going to go ahead and get this going. It's a pretty simple process. I'll try to show you. Now, I'll be holding it down with my other hand as this is going, which I'm going to do right now. Hold on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get these holes drilled. Let's check this out. And it goes something like that, and I didn't notice that my tripod was sliding on me. But that's pretty much how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these holes drilled, and then we'll come back. Now that we got all the holes drilled in this, before I do the stitching, I want to take this, and what this does is, I can't remember the name of this, I call it an edger, and I'm just going to take it and cut the sharp edge off the side of the sheath all the way around. It's very simple. As you can see, right along the edge, it doesn't take a lot. It just kind of rounds that corner a little bit so there isn't a sharp edge. It doesn't take long. Get a little bit right here. And I'm going to do it right on the back side as well. That'll help get rid of some of these frays, as you can see. And we're going to hit this other side. Now, you can see I have all this. I need to trim this up, get all that off. And that was just where I was having it on the belt sander earlier, and I was trying to straighten this out a little bit. And I have all this fraying right here. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think if I just that took care of it. And this I'm going to round up a little bit more here, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to drill the holes to stitch this up. I'm going to drill the holes right there. I also need to cut out my snap. That is a piece of leather. It's going to be a snap. It's going to come around to hold the knife in place. And I think I'm going to cut this off and bring it down some. So let's get that done and we'll move on. I got all the rest of the holes drilled for the stitching. I got right here where I'm going to put, this is going to go underneath like so, and it'll come over it. I have the holes up here that will come down and be right there. So this is what it's going to kind of look like.